Hello, I'm Owen Arias. Welcome to my 2025 TED Talk. My TED Talk is going to be about Tupac Shakur. And I'm going to talk about how rap has been used as a tool for captivation. It captivates your mind. It really intrigues me. I think it holds your attention much better than a lot of other things. So I'm going to show you how rap can hold your attention.
Evil can't help people customize the same liberty mutual.
Well, I'll be. Only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 liberty.
I see no changes. All I see is racist faces, misplaced hate brings disgrace to race. We on the wondering what it takes to erase this, to build a better place and not waste its greatness. Music speaks louder than the riots in the streets, got people moving to the grinds and the justice of the beats. Tupac just drop jewels, but not just to entertain, but to shine a light on this generational pain. From the blocks where the kids got no pockets to the courtrooms where false claim throws their life away and makes their mother's hearts a shout out. Let the kids in the hood play, but they would rather build jails and hells and lock their hopes away. Hey. I friend taught him right, Black Panther pride, so Pac took the mic and let truth ride. He ain't rap to flex, he rap to teach the ones whose looks will never reach. He got the world to listen, now every line got a mission, fighting against these wrongful convictions. I see no changes, all I see is racist faces, misplaced hate brings disgrace to races. Beyond the wondering what it takes to erase this, build a better place and not waste its greatness. He gave power to the queens and broke toxic molds, and when the world got cold, he let his soul unfold. He said, keep your head up. That's what he told his sisters with pain. He told them, bitch, that man who can't love you the same. Hey now, dear mama, this one's for you, cause even on welfare, you still held it down, that's true. And for that, you deserve more than a crown or two, cause you did all that, and I never saw a frown from you. He wasn't just rhythm for the charts and awards, he was speaking for the souls of the system, ignored like king with the beat. Malcolm with some bars, he exposed the dark and made it brighter than stars. War on drugs, no, it's a war on us. Going to the streets, turn the dreams to dust. They made us lose trust, asking us, does the government really care for us? Like Martin in the cypher, Clark had a dream. The humanity and love to replace the machine. Said injustice anywhere is a threat to peace. So he dropped the fallen and injustice released. From the stages to the stages, he mirrored the fight. Gave hope in the dark and brought truth to the light. They called him a thug, but he taught with his pen, giving voice to lifeless once again. He lit the flame to ignite the change, and ever since then, hip-hop would never be the same. T-U-P-A-C, Tupac was his name. So, that's how rap can be used as a tool to teach. Obviously, I think it's a lot more captivating than sitting here yapping your guys' ears off to give you a little bit of why I think it's so important. My question was, how do the lyrics and speeches of Tupac Shakur respond to social challenges of his era and build on themes of previous social rights leaders, or civil rights leaders? So why is Tupac so important? I'm going to start this off with a quote from Tupac. The question I wonder is, after death, will my last breath finally get a rest to this oppression? I think that's very important to Tupac's whole mission in his rap career, which was to make change and to make a better life for his community and the black people of America. Tupac was born on June 16th, 1971, and died prematurely on September 13th, 1996, to a drive-by shooting, which ended his rap career but did not end his legacy. Personal connection. Rap has always been really important to me. I've always thought it hits a part of my brain. Ever since I went to Red Rocks and saw my first live rap show, it really changed the way I saw it, how one person can control an entire crowd just with the words that they're using and the rhythm that they choose. So I think really live music is like one of the most captivating things you could experience in life. So what is systematic racism? This is a problem that Tupac really stepped up to in his life. This was a very, very bad problem in the 70s to the 90s. Systematic racism is, by definition, the oppression of a racial group to advantage of another one perpetrated by inequality within interconnected systems. These systems could be the government, this could be economic systems, this could be social systems, and through this you can really see right here a massive jump and just steady increase on incarceration rates. So that really just shows that Tupac was in a time where we were booming and people were getting arrested for almost nothing at times. Where did this lead us? Systemic racism led to very, very large problems such as mass incarceration, the housing crisis, the war, and very, very, very poor drug education, leading to massive amounts of drug addiction. As you can see here, in these times, there's a lot of people experiencing homelessness. Housing between 1970 and 1980, housing costs rose 176%. From an average of $23,400 to $64,000, making it virtually impossible for you to own a house if you were not on your feet and stable already. And having the government going against you with systemic racism just digs a hole that most could not ever get out of. These numbers were brought by the National Housing Conference. Mass incarceration. Like I was saying, you can see a massive spike in the mid-80s in black incarceration rates, where white is basically nothing and stays that trend until honestly now. But you can really see in this time where Tupac was rapping about it, drastic spike and then a little bit down. And to give you guys a little bit of a clue as to how oppressive the government really was, in the 7 years from 1970 to 1977, 28 new jails were built a month, totaling 430 new jails in only 7 years. To give a little bit more context, between 1870 and 1950, there were only 24 jails built total. These numbers come from the Maine State Museum. So how did Tupac combat these harsh racial boundaries that were put on him? Tupac, as you can see, was a poet. This is a poem from Tupac as a 14-year-old. Was very, very politically charged. Both of his parents were Black Panthers. So he used his voice and what he loved to do, write poems, to make change and to speak on these harsh problems in a way that people would actually hear him, and he wouldn't just get ignored like the rest of the people that he's trying to fight for. Tupac's relationship to powerful leaders. I think Tupac really captivated crowds and held attention, much like MLK did. I think the way that they could both hold a crowd's attention and hold them at a certain level of attentiveness was very, very prominent, and I've got 2 clips to show you that.
Which one of these?
Baltimore welfare with no rights on the high school. So we got to really big watch this struggle shit. If we don't struggle, we gotta struggle every motherfucking day till this shit is over. Let them know. You know? Fuck that. All that shit that went on in the 60s ain't finna happen in this motherfucker. I'll be dropping some of you motherfuckers who need to break the gun this year. Trust me. I never had nobody to sit me down and tell me this. You know what I'm saying? They told me, but I didn't believe it because they let my mama crack. I'm telling y'all the truth, as much as you heard me, cracked out, homeless, nobody in Baltimore. And my mama.
So as you can see, Tupac had very, very strong connections to these racial boundaries that were set on him. What happened to his mom was a victim of the war on drugs. She became addicted to crack cocaine and became homeless and actually kicked Tupac out on the streets as a result of that. So he had a very strong connection to this. He was very, very, very against it. And he was saying, we need to step out and we need to change these things that were happening to us in the 1960s. And before that, we need to make change, and we can't just sit and expect somebody else to do it for us.
Present to you history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation.
So as you can see, Tupac really built off of many themes that MLK has discussed in his life, and I'm sure all of you have seen the entire show, the entire hour-long speech, so I don't need to show the entire thing, but I think that was a very good point that this change is not happening soon. It's like even once slavery ended and was abolished, black people were not getting treated right still for hundreds and hundreds of years past, and Tupac really shined light on that, where that was really getting hidden. And in a system where it's so racist and the odds are so stacked against you, it's very hard to come out on top of the situation and really make the change, because at the end of the day, people are going to be racist. You can't change how somebody's own morals are, but Tupac's goal was to help people change their mindset and hope for better. Why should we care about Tupac? I'm going to start this off with a quote from Jay-Z that I almost think perfectly describes Tupac's career. A poet's mission is to make words do more than they normally do, to make them work for me on more than one level. Tupac obviously did this very, very well. This is another poem. This is 17-year-old Tupac writing extensive, very, very, very well-written poems. And that really showed through his rap with multiple, if you listen to the music, you'll hear multiple double entendres. You'll hear bars that say something, but on the surface they mean something much, much deeper, because you can't go out and say, the government is doing this, this is what's happening, because we all know where that would get Tupac. At the end of the day, he would not make it. Thank you for coming to my 2025 TED Talk.
All right. Thank you very much, Owen.
Thank you.